Hey, well, all my right thinkers, thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, B-Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. What do it do? You fools. Got something nice for you today. Let's go. Right isn't 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. Message put the story for life. These are life lessons I'm giving you. You tuning and receiving them. Appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is way of life through mental and spiritual discipline will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself through lessons and instructions that I give them to make it possible for themselves. I ain't trying to do nothing but get you where you trying to go. Know thyself. That's the place we all, as human beings, should aspire to do or be or reach conceptually. All right, let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not, foolish, disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simply teach them. That's what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Got you. Stay tuned. A person who knows not and believes and swear to God that they know is dangerous. Trust me, I avoid them. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep spiritually. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know that self. To my act, be true. Yeah, I'm the right thinker, man. My thought process came from when I was in college in 1975 when I learned Greek mythology. Now, for me, yeah, that guy, the thinker, that's me, okay? When I'm sitting on the toilet, I'm thinking. I ain't thinking. So that's the concept. So let's talk about thinking is what the brain does. Right thinking is exercise for your brain. Hmm. Is your brain in shape? Let's see. They say, watch this, they say we only use 10% of our brain's capacity. Why do you think that is? Because most of us are 90% ignorant of who we are and what we can do for ourselves. And nothing to do with nobody else but the individual. So if you only function on 10% of your capability, you got a whole lot of room for growth, spiritual growth. That's what I want my people to understand. Okay, let's go. And thinking will make that happen. Why you think that is? Being mentally lazy is wrong thinking. Letting somebody just tell you, and you just believe what they tell you, and you that's wrong because so and so said, and not doing your own homework, big injustice to yourself. Don't blame anybody else. Do your own homework. I did mine. When I was coming up, we had a phrase, self-made man. Men don't make themselves no more. Start doing some self-work. Do some due diligence. Reinvent yourself, as they say. Why thinking is what? The brains, aka consciousness, was given to us so that we could know ourselves and God, our creator. He could tell us about the animals knowing him. Man needs to know him. Why? Because we can become like him with conscience. I ain't going back with that. I hate rephrasing because you throw Bible quotes. No, I'm just letting you know. In your Bible, it says he made it created in our image, in his image. But do we know what the meaning of that phrase is? Some of us, a lot of us don't. So that's the 90% of information that's just out there in the ether that's just waiting to be explored or found out. We can do that. It's called Akashic Records. We done been there before too. Sorry about that. Calm down. But if you're ignorant of the power of your thinking capabilities, you're just wasting your brain power. You got it. You should using it. Car, speedometer. It says 120. I was coming up 120 on the miles an hour on the speedometer. Now it's 160, I guess 180, so I'm going to 200. But that means the car can reach that level if you do what? Push it. If you ain't putting your work in, you ain't pushing yourself. You're not driving yourself. You just cruising along, putting along, just using that little. I'm doing 20 miles an hour. I'm in the school zone. I do 25. In life, the Autobahn, no limit. Okay, I like to teach my young people, think unlimited. Like my man for DC, think unlimited. If you can only know yourself through consciousness or being able to think and comprehend, that's what we are supposed to do. A lot of us take it for granted and don't use it. So yeah, well, I'm smart. I just don't use it. How smart is that? We are all who and what we think we are. Or the other one, belief. I did a lesson about belief. The power is in what you believe. That's where true power lies. But if you ain't thinking and comprehending that understanding, your belief is shaky. You get a little shaky, baby. Okay, but we are something. Believe that we are. Excuse me. We are who we think, or we are who we believe we are. Something. But we have to be able to do what? Think, comprehend, and be able to conceive concepts and views. That's what the world is based on. Everything that's going on is with you outside here starts up here. The thinking, that machinery. Watch this. Right thinking is your brain. Right thinking is your brain in what? Good shape. Why? Because you keep an open mind. I tell you, I master me in my craft of things that I'm involved in. But I'm still a student in life, so I'm have an open mind to learn new things. That's how I come up with new ventures and new ideas. Why? Because I'm open minded. I ain't just saying, well, I know everything I need to know. I ain't learning nothing else. Numbnuts. Moving on. Right thinking is what? Studying, gaining self-knowledge. Again, you doing this yourself. I ain't saying go have no. You need to study, okay? Gain self-knowledge of the spiritual truth. Thinking is gaining information and using it. Knowledge is cool, but that ain't power. Implementing it is the power. Right thinking is what? Expanding your what? Spiritual consciousness, opening, trying to get up that upper room to know thyself. And it takes your brain to do that. It takes thinking. The power to conceive and understand will help you achieve. Right thinking philosophy will get you to what? Use 100% of that noodle you got on top of your shoulders. Why? I'm going to show you how to go inside it and expand it by being curious and asking questions and getting information and getting answers. It's called learning. So, right thinking philosophy will teach you to use both sides of your brain. You have two hemispheres, left and right. Women use one, men use the other. Right thinkers use both. Balance. You have to know both sides. Knowing one thing, my man, ain't you missing something? Even if you don't practice it, you need to know it. If you don't do it, you need to know it's there. It's called opposites, duality. We did that lesson before too. Let me wrap this up. Let me go ahead and shoot me get to this lesson. I'm enjoying this thinking thing. Now, I think right. We all do not. When you think you're thinking, you ain't thinking right. When you know you're thinking right, when you know you're thinking, that's thinking right. Watch this. When you do that, 24/7. My brain, like time in New York City, never stops. Don't sleep. My body sleep. The brain don't stop. None of ours do. If you figure that out and understand that, you know how to use it to your advantage. An overused brain working 16, 18-hour days, overworking the brain, it can't function at that, Lord. Okay, you wearing it out. Okay, it's spinning, it ain't really going nowhere, it's just buffering. But when you're doing positive and constructive things, your brain gets to exercise and move and groove within itself. And then it gets what? Rest. The body needs to rest, not the spirit, not the brain. Okay, understand that. Why? Because you sleeping, your unconscious still doing what it does. So it's the witness. That's what we call it. The conscious witness is your consciousness. Is you knowing you. Your brain, again, is a muscle. Just like we go to the gym, I do my little thing, but I'm not. No, that guy told me a lot of things. This what I'm taking to the grave. A little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. Once you understand that philosophy for yourself, you'll understand what you got to do for yourself. That's the way to get up off your rusty, dusty, and handle your business. Your brain, watch this, need to be used to what is fullest capacity. Other than that, you're wasting away. If you got a new car and you ain't even tested to see how fast it can go, that's an individual thing, personally, okay? I'm pushing the limits. That's why I took drugs. That's why I love acid. Why? It pushed my brain to go further, to expand. I ain't no problem with that. I can always come back when they wear off. If you think you get knowledge because you're under influence and everything is going on, when you come down, you still just as dumb as you were before you start out because you went there with the wrong energy. Okay? If you need a drug, ayahuasca, acid, all the stuff to get you there, you ain't really getting there. When you can do it on your own, that's the way I learned. Okay, I don't need the drugs to do what I used to do with drugs now. I don't need them. I can do it on my own. That's right thinking. That's using your brain for some other than the hat rack. You have total control over your brain. It don't run you or control you unless you're what? Egoistic, aka ignorant of your higher self. It happens to the best of us because if we ain't on that level, we on the other level. You ain't over here, over here. Here we go. Here we go. Where we at? Okay, right there. Now, if your brain is being ran by your ego mind, we see that on a continued basis. That clown we got running for trying to get back in the White House. That's pure, that's unadulterated ego mind. It won't ever what, fully reach 100% potential that it has. Why? Because it's egoistic. The ego has a limit. Low level. It's only going to go but so far. Only know but so much. That's why the lower level is your ego mind. Higher level is Haru. Why? The spirit that's in you, the hero. We talked about that. But let me get this down. Now, watch this. Your ego mind is the enemy of your higher mind, aka conscious, which is Haru. Set Haru, natural enemies. Okay? But they had to come together at a certain point for the common good. That's the story. So if you don't know the story, they're good. It's a very intricate story and a bunch of twists and turns. And if you only know a little bit, I know people know, I know that, I know about that. You know a little bit. If you got bits and pieces, you ain't got nothing. Get the whole thing. That's my concept. And when your higher conscious running the show, that means you're thinking right. If your ego set is running the show, you ain't thinking right. It's simple. It ain't brain surgery. Wrong set, right? Haru. Simple as that. It ain't all. Watch this. Your brain, like anything else, is a gift and a curse. If not used correctly and properly, it will destroy you. The ego kills. Osiris, he didn't get killed by nothing. His loving brother, who he trusted, laying in that coffin. If he thought his brother was doing anything, he probably would have done that. But because of the trust and because he's your brother, they're the ones that hold you the worst. Okay? That's just life. And it's been, it ain't just started. I'm just saying. Believing. What's the difference in believing and thinking? Believing is not thinking. Knowing is thinking, aka right thinking. But if you believe, that means you don't know. Stop giving me your beliefs. Why? I have no use for them. They don't even do you no good if they're not founded in truth and grounded in your steadfastness to hold on to it and manifest it for yourself. Just having belief in something don't mean jack. Thinking and knowing something makes all the difference in the world. Let me get this lesson. I hear people say, can't think. Oh, my brain hurts. To say that shows you are not thinking, you're just wrong thinking. Okay? If you don't understand the power of that thing on your head, that thing on your neck, our brain, understand this, is the most, listen to this, sophisticated piece of machinery known to man, given to man by our creator. We making machines. They work, they do. But we made them. God made us. We're smarter than God. Shouldn't be, but some of us think they are. That's the ego and ignorance in them that believe that concept. Okay, having knowledge means you know. We follow a belief system. Why do you think they put that in place? Sucker move. As long as they believe what we tell them, they won't do nothing else. And they pretty much right because the masses just go along like y'all sheep, just follow along. So, AKA, I call that religion the well-dressed lie. I teach knowing system, okay? They call it the mystery system. Why? I'm teaching you the mystery that people don't know about. The hidden mysteries. That's esoteric teaching. I'm not an exoteric teacher. That's a level. That's like, okay, you're in school, you're elementary. I'm teaching college. Big difference. But you gotta go to elementary school to get to college. So I ain't down in that. I just don't teach that. Okay? Raise it up. Come upstairs. I'm up there. I believe, here you go, in thinking right. So my belief is founded in what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is based on what I believe to be right. Get the concept? And when I do it, I know I'm thinking, living, and being right. That's a spiritual mind thing. I feel it, think it, I manifest it. Now I got it. It's a three-pronged deal. You can believe all you want. Here you go. We all do, but right thinking, you know. So belief has no necessary place in the room with knowledge. If you know, belief got to go. When you're in the room, yeah, I don't know, I believe. Okay, well, when knowledge come in, you got to go. Okay, you can't. I say space, good and bad, night and day. Certain things they ain't gonna go that way. So understand that. Make a decision and live with it. Moving on. Okay, yeah. Now you can't. Now the last one, knowing beats believing. Why? Believing is admitting you don't know. Knowing is saying, I done it, I experienced it, I get it, I understand it. Eureka, I get it. A thought that somebody gave you, a concept somebody gave you, and it registers with you, makes sense. All I want to know is what I'm giving to you makes sense. You ain't got to practice it, you ain't got to use it. But if you can understand it and it makes sense, that's all I care about. What you do with it, that's your choice. Moving on. Now, before, okay, knowing by learning and living what you learn, that's right there in the philosophy in a nutshell. Before I can become a master teacher, aka sage, what I had to do, learn, comprehend, being able to think on my own for myself, to manifest and have the experience and gain the wisdom and knowledge so I can pass that on to somebody else. Right thinking is being 100% in control of your what emotions, actions, your words. That's right thinking philosophy. If you just willy-nilly doing things haphazardly, you ain't right thinking. I'm very routine, I'm very programmed, very straightforward. Why? That's focused. I'm being swayed a whole bunch of nonsense. Your brain, here you go. Your brain does the thinking. Your heart does the feeling. When you put them two together as one, you got heart, mind coherent. You got the deal, the real deal. You got knowledge of self. You got the power, and you know who you are. So last one. Right thinking is knowing you're a student of what? Life. Not just right thinking. No, I'm giving you life lessons. These are studies that you can practice for yourself. Learn them and live them. They're yours to use. That's my point. And when you do that, you're a right student. When you put right thinking is knowing you're a student of life. For life, that's right thinking philosophy. You're always going to be learning. You learn from the cradle to the grave. So I'm a student in life for life. That's the concept. Last one I said it was, but my bad. We wrap it up. I'm gone. I keep my brain doing its job. I hold it accountable. Why? Because it's the witness of all my thoughts, be they good or bad. You can have all the thoughts you want, but the ones you act on, the one you got to be responsible for. Understand that, my right thinkers? I'll be back.